All right, good morning. Looks like we're live Monday, April 29th. Oh, I'm in a trade already. Gonna see how this plays out here. Gold came off of the overnight open here, right as the open range started forming, pushed down pretty strong. We got an immediate break that went almost to the 100% mark. I don't take those immediate breaks, although this one I was almost tempted to just because it was a pretty strong downward push. I got back in after this retracement, which doesn't look like it's going anywhere. We violate this breaker here on a closing basis, I'll kill it. Which is essentially what I anticipated doing at this point, because we came back into it. I took the break of this candle here. At this point, we're kind of waffling around, so certainly did not break out the bottom like we would have wanted it to. So we'll see if the midline holds for us. The range this morning in gold is 41. Just have that there as a kind of a reference point. One thing that's working against us right here is we're trading out of a 15-minute fair value gap. So this trade is going against that, which is not. There's a 15-minute fair value gap where we poke just below it. Now we're coming up, so. So that lowers the probability of this outcome ending in our favor. All right, I'm going to kill it there. We'll see if we get a nice test off of the midline. We'll get back in. Let's see, the open in oil has started. We're kind of at the bottom of the push down this morning. It really just fell through the overnight open all the way down here. A little bit of a test off the gold line, not much. So we'll see how this opens up. There's no news today, nothing that's going to wake the market up at all. We do have news the rest of the week, though. I think just about every day there's something going on. So that's good. All right, so here's our problem. Overnight open to the midline is only 20 ticks, I think. 23. So that's not a lot of movement, or not a lot of space. Just watching to see how this reaction at the midline shapes up. Well, that's a nice reaction off the midline. Went down, what, 10 or 12? NQ is holding the top of the London range. It's kind of consolidating sideways. Took one little trade in NQ this morning that worked out okay for a quick 5 points. Just an inversion of this fair value gap here, down to this low. Call that my warm-up trade. Nice that it worked out. Well, the price action in oil isn't looking too promising, at least for this morning. This is not what I like to see. Really need to see something a little more rhythmic, a little smoother. So did get a small rejection off that midline. Right now it's in gold. Right now it's pulling back up. I don't really like that we're kind of sandwiched between 15-minute fair value gap and the overnight open. It's not a great place to be. Okay, so yeah, there isn't that inside bar on the 5-minute on oil. See how that one plays out. It's actually an interesting one. Let's see. I don't know. Oil and gold aren't looking too hot this morning. Might be a wait around Frank Q to do something kind of a day. Yeah, 15 minutes till the open in NQ. Yeah, on that 5-minute inside bar, long or short, who knows? Looks like we're entered short, right? I closed with some momentum though, so that's good. That bodes well. Where's the target on this guy? What, 21 ticks? So are you looking at about 97? So you'd have to break this low in order to hit the target, I think, depending on where your entry was. I'm going to draw a line at that low. Then we get down there. So there's the open range is done doing its thing. I mean, over here on gold, technically, if we'd have got in off that midline short, we'd still be in. Well, maybe. Actually, this candle might have stopped us out. But now we're moving back down. Well, I like this for a midline test in oil. We dropped pretty strongly, got a little bit of reaction up here. We got our lines, which are matching up with a short, a potential short here. See how this goes. Created this nice fair value gap with this push down. So there's a couple things, a couple of reasons I think a short looks like a potential opportunity here. $82.96. Let's see. Yep. Move that down there just to watch. You see this 15-minute fair value gap over here in gold is holding. So I'm not too excited about this area. We're sandwiched between this fair value gap, which is holding, and the overnight open. So that to me points to potential choppiness. It doesn't give me a lot of certainty there. Well, I got in one contract on oil over here with the break of this guy down here. Since we had a test of the midline, went ahead and put my order there, got ticked in, and it's as far as we've gotten so far. So we'll see. When talking about 15-minute fair value gaps, we have a 15-minute gap that's working in our favor in oil. Which is right here. Well, so we inverted it here. Then we kind of pull back up into it. But we'll see. Oh, stop filled for me on that one little contract. What I would love to see in gold, which probably won't happen, but what would be really nice to see in gold is to see us break through the overnight open, come back for a retest, and then move higher. The likelihood of that happening is probably slim, but yeah, 9 more minutes till NQ wakes up for the morning. Not really a lot happening thus far. All right. So this will be kind of interesting to see how oil plays out here. This is technically a wrap of the midline. Is it? No, I guess it's not because we never had a close below. So we closed above, hesitated. Now we're coming back down. So I lied. We didn't wrap it yet. However, this is looking more and more like a little bit of reversal from this very short-lived downward push. We'll see. All right, gold caught, or not gold. Yeah, gold. Gold caught up to the red line. Still holding that midline. Got the red line there. All right, so that was a long entry for me in oil. Let's see what happens here. If we hit the top of the range, then I would move my stop to break even. That's how I'm going to manage that trade. Although, I mean, we've really just been consolidating for a while, so I'm not going to call this one super high probability by any means. But it technically fits my rules, so we'll take it and see what it does. Let's stop at 83.38. Yep, right above these highs. There's not a lot of momentum this morning. Not a lot of momentum anywhere. But with it being a Monday, there's no news. I guess shouldn't be surprised by that. Still have 4 minutes until NQ opens. So technically I got into this one late. I didn't take an entry till the break of this candle because this is the one that actually pushed through the midline. This candle touched it. but it's a little uncertain, so I waited for this candle to form. I don't know. We'll see. So far, it's not showing any excitement whatsoever. Oops. I hate that little news thing. My mouse just goes over it just a little bit and it wants to pop up and give me all the headlines, all the nonsense going on in the world. Should probably figure out a way to turn that off. All right, so the longer we hesitate here, the worse it gets, because now we've got a red line coming down. And now that meets up with the top of our range. One thing I like is that the overnight open is up here. And it's only 35 ticks away, so it's not that far. It's close enough it may want to go back up, especially since last time we were there we just dropped through it. We didn't stay in chat, so it may want to reach back up there and touch bases before it goes anywhere else. But there's a whole lot of structure in the way. Oh my gosh. So we've gone sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. Where are you going, oil? Doesn't really matter to me. I would just like you to decide, please. All right, there's the open in NQ. A little bit of a pop up. Gold also moving up from here. There we go. All right. So moved my stop to break even though that's only like 5 ticks away, so it's not much room for this guy. But it finally gave us the breakout, so that inside bar would have got stopped. And there we go. We're off to the races. I'm going to put my target at the overnight open, which isn't much. That'll give me 37, I guess. Could be worse. I'm actually going to close it there. It's probably going to hit, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't like that we just blasted through this red line. So I got out just in case we come back down for retest before we move back higher. So if we come back and retest that top of that range, I would be very interested in re-entering. But I don't really want to sit through a pullback, so I'm just going to take my $200 and take that as my prize for sitting there patiently for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes before it finally popped up on minute 8. So let's see what's going on in NQ, because it seems like it's gotten lively over here. All right, so we do have this target up here. It's 15-minute high. It's only 36 away. That's oof. That's a juicy target up there. How far have we gone? 26. Just a little tiny fair value gap here. In the world, I'm trying to move a line and it won't move. Why won't this line move? Oh, it's because it's locked. Okay. That's funny. So I kept moving that other line yesterday, or well, Friday. So I locked it. There we go. And then when I just copied it, and the copy was also locked, so it wouldn't move. All right, so if we were to take that high, the next little wick up there is up there. All right, so here's that retracement I was not going to say afraid of, but I thought was likely. All right, I like this. Not NQ. NQ wants to come down. All right, so we fell the overnight open. We came down, we broke below. This candle came up, retested, and now is dropping lower. So everything about that I like. So I'm gonna give gold a chance on a very small position size because I still don't trust this 15-minute fair value gap. All right, so my fill is at, well, let's just put it on the screen. That way I don't have to try and figure it out. What account did I use? I think this one. Yeah, there we go. So this wasn't the most picture perfect retest of the midline on the way back down, but we're rejecting the overnight open. We closed below it. This wicked back up and tested it. I took the break of this candle here, and we'll see where it goes. We have to push through all this stuff down here, which if it gives us resistance, then we're not going to get much out of this. But if it doesn't, then there's the very good chance we just fall right through it and retest these lows. So let's see, 60 ticks is down below here. Got a big volume gap right there. Let's go and put those extensions back on. 100% is here. We didn't get to that 100% before. So let's see where we go. Come on down. NQ is also coming back down to the overnight open. Fell through the bottom of London. All right, I fell through the 50%, so my rules say I should move my stop up to the 0 line, that which is the bottom of the range. No, this is some momentum. Maybe I should move my target down a little bit, just in case, huh? Who knows? See where we go. I mean, if it wants to go, who am I to stop it? Who am I to take my profit early? Jeez. Of course, then it wicks right back up, right? But hey. So where did we, the question is, where did we wick below, right? What did we take out? So we took out these equal lows here. Then came back pretty hard, so I don't know. After seeing that reaction, maybe I'll come back and I want at least 60. All right, that, let's see. So 60 would be, oof. NQ's tanking too. All right, so that's okay. So we got our stop fill there for what, 30 ticks or so. Guess we could have left our target at 60 and been happy with that, but seemed like it was coming down, so wanted to wait around and see. All right, so that was that in gold. Really not too shabby, right? Should have taken no losses in gold if we were following the plan correctly, which I don't think I took any losses in gold. No trade. I didn't trade, or did I trade this? I don't remember what I did. It's been so long. It was like 5 minutes ago. I already forgot. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I did take a loss in gold. And why did I take a loss in gold? I took it because I didn't take the right entry. Right, I was taking an entry based off something else, and I didn't wait for that midline. So, big lesson here, right? If I'd have waited for the midline, perfect entry. Although we would have probably got stopped out at break even. We wouldn't have lost anything on it. I guess technically if you took this, you might have got stopped out for a very small loss because we never did come back down to the bottom of the range. So stop loss would have still been back here. But pretty tight stop, so that's not too bad. And then this entry here, which I would call, oh, here it comes right back down. Oh, I was afraid of that. I almost moved my stop back because of this possibility right there. Anyway, and then the entry I took, which I would call an A+ entry for myself at least, right? We were rejecting off the overnight open. We had a retest of the midline and then fell through the bottom. So won a total of, I think, 75. So I could have got my 60, but I was being greedy. And I only got 30. So that's what happens when you're greedy. All right, I got to take a quick break. I will be back. Give me about 2 minutes. Okay, so gold came back down for one little retest before we turned around again. Again, this 15-minute fair value gap is creating a significant obstacle for shorts. All right, here in oil, this was a retest. A retest of our line. And then now we're pushing back up. We're continuing with this lack of momentum in oil, which is probably a reason I'm going to leave it alone, because it doesn't seem to have much conviction in much of anything. So I didn't know this earlier, but NQ had a gap from the open, and this was closing that gap, so closed it pretty nicely. See where it goes from here. All right, so whenever I see this, we created a low, we came back up to the overnight open, we rejected strongly, we took out this low. And then turned around. So we took out that low, we took out this low, which these were relative equal lows over here. So this seems to indicate to me, came down here, we grabbed some liquidity so that we could push higher. So let's watch how that plays out. This was a nice rejection of the overnight open on NQ. All right, so gold is back up to that midline. Pushed above it, closed above it. See if it comes back down for any kind of a tap. A close below would be great. We're only 16 from the overnight open. Very close. All right, so no real retest there. I was half tempted to get in on this wrap of the red line here. But let's see how it plays out. I think it's important to note that you're watching price action not to try and predict what's going to happen. But you want to look, I think you want to look at price action and you want to kind of evaluate it and say, okay, this is kind of what I would expect to happen based on what I'm seeing. And then you watch it play out and you see what actually happens. And that's how you learn to read price action, by doing that over and over and over and over again. All right, there you go. There's your close below. So we closed above, closed below. I'm going to see if I'm anticipating we just rocket through here. If we don't, I'll probably bail out, which we're not. Let's see what happens. Such a small screen. I want to see. We got a high there. We got highs up here. That target would be underneath these highs, so that's in the realm of possibility. It's a pretty strong reaction, though, which isn't really a surprise, right, off the overnight open. Last time we were up here, we fell way down, so we'll see. I mean, I guess technically, right, as soon as it tapped the top of the range, I should have moved to break even, but that's what, 3 ticks or something? Not even? Oh, it's 6. Okay. Still pretty close. Pretty close. Remember, gold is choppy until it decides not to be, and it just impulsively moves one direction or the other. You just hope you're not on the wrong side of that move. I mean, this really could go either way here. I don't know if this is giving me false hope or not, but I just see it. Every candle's pushing up a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. So it's either going to do this or we're going to pop up a little bit. So I'm going to stick around in case we get the pop. Again, these are evaluation accounts. I probably wouldn't do this in a account that I was really invested in. I'm risking 20 ticks. All right. Let's see if it really wants to go up or if it's just gonna chop up here and then reverse back down. We have been expanding, so lower low. Looks like we're gonna get a higher high over here. There we go. All right, where's my trusty lines? Oh. All right, so we did get the 50%, so we should move our stop to the top of the range. Lock in a whole 5 ticks. So we're not going to lose money on the thing. The 100% line is 48 from our entry. So we'll see how far it wants to go. I don't know. All right, let's see. Where is NQ headed? Meandering its way back up to the middle of the New York Open range, which is just below the middle of the London range. Well, we got the overnight open. We got all this noise here, so. Not too interested in shorting this. This one, though. May be worthy of another contract. So kind of see how this plays out. I mean, the likelihood is we come back down, test the overnight open before it moves higher. And if we get any kind of a test through, we're going to get stopped out for, very, very small profit. Basically break even. But if we move back up, then we'll add in to our position based on that pullback. So we're just setting ourselves up in case it wants to trend up from here. Which I can't say I have any kind of like conviction that that's what it wants to do, but don't know that it doesn't. So the best we can do is put ourselves in a position to take advantage of it if that's where it wants to go. Because if it doesn't go there, then it won't matter anyway. All right, there's the stop. So didn't really go anywhere, but that's okay. Made a little bit, didn't lose anything, so call that a win. Once again, an entry off the midline, which pays off. I feel like the term for today should be mediocre Monday. Not really good, not really bad, just kind of not really much of anything. I don't really want to buy this, but if it pushes up from here, I would be really unhappy that I didn't get in here. Because technically this is a pullback, this is a push through. It's a retest of the top of the open range and the overnight open. So Do I think it's great? I think it's great. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter what I think. It follows the rules, so we'll take it. Let's see. All right, so that's our first follow the rules loss today. All right, I had one loss over here, but I didn't really follow my rules, so can't blame the strategy for that. But the only reason not to take this trade would have been that the price action is really just kind of consolidating. But it would have been conjecture, right? The only thing we can do is take the entries based off of the criteria and let the chips fall where they may. Trust that the back testing is going to work out over time. You know, series of trades and all that. All right, oil. Let's see, what did we do here? We dropped back down. We're below the midline. We did retest it. But oil's kind of doing the same. It's just going sideways. So it's like nothing is really, you know, there's no real like alarm bells going off that, hey, it's a great place to get in. So technically this inversion over here on NQ did work, right? We had a push down, which technically took out this low, just barely. Push back up, we inverted that singular fair value gap. And then we're sort of grinding higher. Very, very slowly. Oh, if you'll excuse me, I got a phone call. All right, I'm gonna take all these markers off there, clouding my chart. There's just not a lot going on right now. I mean, I'm intrigued by the fact that oil still has not come back up to the overnight open. Seems really unusual to me. All of a sudden, everything seems to have woken up. NQ's making a little bit of a bigger move. Gold starting to make a little bit of a bigger move. Oil starting to make a little bit of a bigger move. It's almost like there's something going on out there. Let's see, the open range in oil is only 24 ticks, so very, very small open range. Excuse me. All right, so there's total breakdown here. I did take that break based on momentum, so we'll see. See if that continues or not. Not overly optimistic as I've been all morning on pretty much everything. Came just shy of that 50% line, which is unfortunate. Been very nice to have touched that line. Once it does, I'll move my stop to break even. There it is. And there it goes. And I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to take it if it touches that 100% line. So this line here, this was the target from the inside 5-minute inside bar earlier in the day. So it doesn't really mean anything at this point. Let's see if we touch that. That's going to be 22 ticks of profit. Meanwhile, we had a retest of the midline and a push through the open range in gold. So this may be the... I missed that because oil had my attention, but that might be the trade right there. I don't know. Am I asking too much of oil? Just a little further. I did move my stop to this 50% line because not really trusting anything. There it goes. All right, so there's the target on that one. So a little bit of patience paid off a little bit there. See where it goes after that. But at least we got our 100% line. Pretty small trade because we took a break of the range. This was a test of the top of the range, but we didn't get in there. We got in a little bit later. Oh man, look at it go. This is why you have to make the decision. Do you take your quick profits just at your, you know, if you're a scalper at 20 ticks or 30 ticks or 60 ticks like I did earlier? Or do you wait to see where it goes? Because you kind of can't have it both ways. You're never going to catch the, you know, the low or the high of the trade usually. So either you just take your profit at your target or you let it go and see where it goes, with the understanding that it could come back and stop you out for a very small profit or even a loss, depending on, you know, where you're at. But see if it gets to 200. In cases where the open range is so small, I mean, it was what, 24 or something. It's really not unreasonable to expect it to go a little bit further than that 100%, because 20 ticks really isn't much for oil. It's easy for it to move much further than that. So there's the 200%. Okay. What do we think about gold? Has gold fooled us enough? Or are we just gluttons for punishment? Let's see. We want it down below that. Let's see. I'm going to give it 20. And then let's see how it behaves here. It just kind of hovers here. I'm not going to be too interested in waiting around, but yeah, I'm going to leave my target way up there. Let's be unreasonable for a minute. Actually, I shouldn't say unreasonable. Just let's be optimistic. I mean, if there's one thing we know about gold, gold chops around before it picks a direction, and then it'll just kind of float that way for a while. So we've done a lot of chopping. So on the off chance that we're going to go from chopping to floating, see what we can get. All right, so technically we hit that 50%. So I'll tighten up my stop. I don't know. Let's see. Do we move it to break even? I think break even's just a little too tight. So we're going to leave the stop down here, which gives us 12 is my risk, so that's not too bad. We can handle that. Not a huge fan of the lower high right here, but well, that decides what it wants to do. See if NQ's setting anything up for us. Yes, please. Where are you going? Where are you going? There we go. Come on, fell through. There you go. 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. Let's see. I'm watching NQ. if this one wants to stop me out for break even. All right, we'll just get out of that one. The reason I jumped into that one is because I was looking at it and so we broke this high, we created this fair value gap here, which isn't singular in the leg up because there's another one lower, but we broke through here with momentum. We also broke this order block in the same candle. So as soon as I saw that, that's why I just, let's sell it. I think it's probably going to still come down to here, but it's kind of the second time today I should have just taken my profits after an impulsive move, right? Got my 15 points and been happy with it. Anyway, that's what I love and hate about NQ. You get those setups that just, they're perfect, but you got to be quick. And sometimes they don't work. So, you know. All right, what are we doing over here? Gold. Where you at? Woof. All right, well, we were doing good. Seems to have turned around. Haven't hit the 100% line yet, though. I guess we can move our stop to break even. Plus a little just in case. All right, well, that's not the kind of reaction that we want. I'm going to take it there. I mean, this price action is just kind of like not very, it doesn't inspire confidence in anything really. So good entry, good stop placement. Never did hit that 100% line. Rejected really strongly, so we're just going to take a little bit off of it and go about our day. So oil, let's see, just continuing to just kind of trickle down now. Still not moving a ton, but it is moving steadily in that direction for the time being. Oh, is there an inside bar on the 5-minute chart in oil? Oh, there was, yeah. Where's your stop on that inside bar? Is it, let's see. $32 ticks. So at 83.06. Yeah, you might be fine. You might be okay on this one. The 15-minute close was good. Might get a little bit of a pullback here, but no, we'll see. All right, well, I'm glad I took my profits on gold because it is pulling back to my entry, so I would have been stopped out for break even had I not taken it there. Perfectly happy with that exit, even if it just pulls back and continues to trickle up, which who knows what it's going to do. Let's see. So in the event that NQ wants to come back, excuse me, back up to the top of the open range, that's about, what, 50, 60 points from where we're at, 55. Get some long wicks on these NQ candles. Oof. Oh, back down to the overnight open and the top of the range. How many times do we want to take this entry? I mean, we've made money off of it every time, I guess. Can't complain about that. I like that that red line is catching up with us in gold. That's a good sign. So there's a red line down here on my gold chart that I'm playing with. Trying to, because I keep moving it accidentally. There we go. That marks the bottom of a 15-minute fair value gap. So the 15-minute candle did close below it at 9:45 my time, so 10:45 Eastern. So really just kind of waiting for that to fail. If it does. All right, the red line caught up with gold. Well, NQ is really tightening up. I think it's getting ready to do a thing. What that thing is, I'm not going to guess because I don't know. The only thing I can say is the lines are stacked short. We're on the bottom of the opening range, but we got big wicks on the bottom. We've got moderately sized wicks on the top. So I'm not going to claim to know what that means. All right. Come on, oil. Let's just fell down here. So the target was 82.41. So right there. I'll put a line there just for fun. I think we really need for this to give up this line here if it's going to come down. Looks like gold was just waiting for approval from the red line. And it got the okay, so now it's ready to move back up. All right, we popped above the midline. All right. Well, oil is moving in favor of that inside bar. Took its time, but it's getting there very slowly. Gold didn't have much momentum there. Did move a little bit off the red line, but not very far. Now it's turned around again. There, that's what we've been waiting for. Maybe. There's a little fake out action. NQ likes those fake outs. All right, there's a 15 points. Now, because I took my profit at 15 points, now it's going to like just drop. Watch. But hey, got 15 points, $300. Can't complain. Had to patiently wait for that one. Let's see. Oh dear, that inside bar rejected. I don't know. It may yet work out. Who knows? I'm a scaredy cat, so I would have been stopped out for break even on that one. But we did come back up to the gold line, which is good. Let's see if the gold line holds. This is kind of the first test of the gold line, right after the cross. So may yet play out in our favor. Oh, look at NQ. It kindly rejected off that just to make me feel better about taking my profit at the gold line or at the overnight open there. Because, you know, NQ cares about our feelings. Which, of course, it doesn't. Well, I think I've made money in gold, oil, and NQ today, so not sure I should push my luck too much longer. We're not up very much just because the market just isn't moving a lot, so some wins, some losses, but positive overall, so that's a good thing. So just out of curiosity, are you still in this inside bar trade? in oil? And if you are, have you moved your stop loss, or is it still at, where was it at? 83.05. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it there. I need to go take a break, go move around a little bit, get some fresh air. It was kind of a mediocre day, like I said, but overall positive day, so we'll take it. We got news Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week, so hopefully tomorrow things are a little more interesting. Today was not, so not a lot of motion, a lot of choppy price action, so, but it's the way it goes. So I'm going to call it a mediocre Monday. Try not to mess with the strategy. All right, well, I'm going to keep watching this inside bar thing because, I mean, it could still work out. I would be a little nervous. But doesn't mean it's going to fail. So who knows? So, all right, well, be safe, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.